Were you writing for Katt Williams before or after Conan?
I was writing for Cat while I was at Conan.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
said he never used any of your jokes, but loved your material.
Yeah, he loved my material. He loved me. Cat was a dickhead to me, but it was like a love. It was love. It was always love. Shout out to Cat. That's my dude. But when I first met him, he was just testing me. He was testing me. He'd be like, "You ain't funny. You ain't got no jokes. Why the fuck should I have you write?" I was like, "Well, I won't write." He'd be like, "I'm just playing. Okay, write me some stuff." Then I'll write the stuff. He'd be like, "This shit's garbage." And I'd be like, "Fuck you." He'd be like, "Nah, for real, write some book." Like, it was just, it was always this back and forth or whatever, you know. But yeah, my man, this dude named D Militant, he asked me to come write for Cat, and I went over there, man. You know, he never used nothing that I wrote, but he always wanted to just see what I wrote. See, certain comics don't really actually need a writer per se. They just need somebody around them that will make them think differently about certain things, and then they'll have their own ideas. They just will now know how to format it, and sometimes they'll say something, and they just need somebody around them to be like, "Yo, that's funny. You should write that down." And then they go, "Oh," because they're so funny just being who they are. They just need somebody to point that out every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Just like, "Yo, that was funny right there." So that was a lot of that going on with Cat too. So the things that I wrote, it was cool, and it probably gave him ideas to talk about other stuff, but he didn't actually write. He didn't use what I wrote, but he would take probably like the cadence of it and do something else with it. But yeah, but
What was that experience like watching him perform, watching his creative process?
who Cats?
Yeah.
Oh, it was great. It was great because Cat was already Cat. Like, it wasn't like I came along and Cat was already Cat. He was already Katt Williams, and he was at the peak of his joint, like doing it. But he was doing so much stuff at the time. I guess he thought, man, if I get some writers together, this would help out. But Cat was so great, he didn't need none of us. He just was. He thought he did, but what we did was we just gave him that spark to really look into himself and pull out what he already had within him or whatever. And then to see him go perform that and then perform stuff we didn't even know that he didn't run by us was amazing. It'd be like, whoa, like he already had that? Like, he was just a phenomenal dude that was very, like, Cat just on a whole nother level. Like, you don't know, like he's so brilliant. Like, you just don't know where he at with it, you know. But I like my geniuses crazy. Shit.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't want no regular sane genius. Like, who wants that? Like, that's, I don't even trust no sane genius that get up and brush his teeth and read the paper and work out. I'm like, you ain't no genius, motherfucker. You need to be doing something fucked up in order for me to respect you as a genius. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can look at the best of them. The best of them, I like that, you know, so.
Yeah. I mean, he's been through a lot recently. Have you been in contact with him?
No, well, actually, I seen him this summer. I mean, not this summer, this spring. No, earlier this year, February, I was down in Atlanta performing, and he came to the show, and we just sat back, took a picture, and just told him, "Man, I miss you," and he was just like, "Yeah, I miss you too. Keep doing what you're doing." And I'm like, "Cool," and then that was it. We just kept it moving, but it wasn't no, like, "Oh man, what's up, boy? Call me, man. Let me get your number." It wasn't like that. Cat ain't like that. Cat
Yeah.
real private, and he keep it moving, you know. So, man, I love though Cat. Like, mad. He's still one of the baddest motherfuckers that's doing it. At the end of the day, you know. So.
I mean, is there a code? Can you make fun of his, like when he fought that teen or like little incidents, him getting caught up with the law? Are you allowed to make fun of him on stage?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't personally. Like, I leave it alone because there's two sides to every story, and I just don't even say nothing. If I don't hear his side, and I go with anybody, like if it's two sides to every story, to me, I am a big advocate of that. Like, if I don't hear both sides, I have no opinion. But I see it, and I see what's popping, but I stay away from it. Like, I just be like, okay. Anytime he do something, I always go, he must have a reason for that. That'd be the first thing in my mind, but that was the reason why that happened. But I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I mean, with you giving out your your materials, is it hard for you to give away the good stuff? Do you ever decide to be like, I'm gonna just keep this over here?
Yeah, absolutely. I always do that because it's hard for me to write, especially now. It's hard for me to write for people like I was. I was giving friends that wasn't on, giving them jokes, and then writing for other people that was on, and then writing for myself. But now between Angie Tribeca and Blackish, and my hour special, and shooting barbershop at the time, and all of that, I didn't have the time to write for everyone else, plus write for myself. So
Yeah.
I just kind of like got small for a minute, until some of these projects die down, and then I can surface again. But I still, hit people. If people hit me up with something and need some help with something, I'll tag them, definitely.
Yeah. What's like the best advice you ever received from any comedians that you've worked with or have known?
I did this thing with Chris Rock. Have you ever sat with Chris Rock? Has he ever did this? You
No.
would need 5 hours if you sat down with Chris Rock. Chris Rock is probably he another insane genius. Like, he's so brilliant. He told me Mike Epps was a better comedian than him. And I was like this, okay, what are you smoking? And he was like, no, he is. He was like, he's a better comedian than I am. He was like, he is. He was like, he freestyles. The people love him. He goes all around the stage. He comes off the top of the head with stuff, and Mike does. He have all these characters, and he's very animated. And he was like, Mike is a way better comedian than I am. And I was just like, that's dope. But then he said, but I choose better jokes. And he said, it's about choices. He was like, and that goes with anything you do in life. He was like, it's choices. He was like, my jokes that I do, I write and I choose them and I make them better. Not saying that he was better than Mike Epps or nothing like that. He gave Mike his props, but he was saying, but the jokes that he chooses puts him in a whole nother lane. And it goes with anything that you do. I just thought that was a profound thing to tell me, that it's about your choices and about the jokes that you choose can outdo anything or make it just as even, And he said he loves Mike Epps. He loves Mike Epps, and he loves a lot of comedians. So that was something great. And he also told me that no matter what I do, I'm a comedian first. And he was like, just make sure you're a comedian first before anything. He was like, before you're a father, before you're an American, before you're black, before you're a man, you're a comic first, because that dictates how you carry yourself through society.
Yeah.
And once people know you as a comic, then that breaks barriers and colors and classes and all of that. So I thought that was great information to know too, because sometimes I had to be like, damn, okay, I got to be a father and I got to be this. And it's like, yo, I'm a comic first, and that dictates how I raise my son, and it does to this day. He's more aware, he's observant, just like his father, and I can instill these things in him because of who I am and what I do.
Yeah.
So I thought that was some incredible information that I needed to hear.
You seem to have met and conversed with a lot of great comedians, and I just want to know, have you ever met or spoke to Bill Cosby?
No, I never spoke to Bill Cosby at all. No, never been. I was gonna go to a show of his one time, but I never made it. Never did. Never met him.
How do you feel about that? Like everything that he's going through?
With Bill? Man, it's two sides to every story. That's my answer. Until Bill called me up and be like, nigga, let me tell you what really happened. Until that happened, then it's two sides to every story. And
Yeah.
I never make judgment on nothing until I hear it. I'll go, man, that's fucked up. But I instantly go, I wonder what his story is or what her story is, you know, so, yeah.
I mean, there's so many comedians too that went through some real life stuff. And I mean, Richard Pryor, you know, and he was vocal about like his drug abuse, and I mean, he caught himself on fire. You have you have Katt Williams. Unfortunately, social media is catching everything he does now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think sometimes with comedians, I mean, big comedians, there's always like a scare that there's going to be a greater downfall for them later on?
I mean, with social media right now, it just plays into what you can and can't do, man. It's just, you just have to lay low and just, you know, you have to know that you have to make moves knowing that that exists. But see, that's the thing that I was saying earlier. You don't know who's doing this shit on purpose or not. Because a lot of them know that it do exist. But I tell you this much, he gonna sit asses in, a lot more asses in seats than I am, because, you know, they know the stuff that he do, you know, and
Yeah.
they want to go hear him talk about it. But, yeah, I stay clear. Like, I try to stay clear of social media, but it's like, ain't a lot written about me. Anybody like, yo, Deon slapped a hot dog out his dude's hand, and like, you know, like, it ain't nothing written like that. But I'm not on the level like Katt anyway, neither. But I'm just saying that, you know that it exists. Like, I still make moves knowing that that exists.
Gucci's absolutely the boogeyman of hip hop. Like, it's just certain individuals, you just know that at any given moment, it could go left.
Right.
Gucci's one of them. T.I.'s one of them. I told y'all that before. I don't know why y'all keep acting like T.I. ain't Gucci level crazy. Maybe
T.I. is Gucci level crazy.
Gucci might be T.I. level crazy.
You mean to tell me that if I walked up to your mother right in front of you and shot her in the face, and then I left the country and you can't get to me, you wouldn't tell the police?
Hell no, where your mama stay at?